Hello again, my friends. It is your host, Brian Prime here, and I will keep this as short as possible. Void Signal is an almost weekly ad-free radio show that is powered by people. I am the person that powers it, and good evening. Hello. It would be of tremendous help if you visited voidsignal.net or patreon.com/voidsignal and signed up for the Void Signal Patreon. For as little as $2 per month or $24 for a year, you get access to early episodes, extended cuts of episodes, extra series. There's all kinds of stuff up there. Hours and hours of content for you to enjoy. And it goes a long way towards helping me do more of this, a weekly radio show dedicated to artists of all mediums, interesting people of all shapes and sizes and walks. So yeah, thank you so much for your consideration. Until the next time that we get to talk, friends, stay safe, stay loud, and take care. Okay, I think I am 100% ready now.
Cool. Okay, I think I am too.
Okay, cool. Welcome to Void Signal. My guest is Adam Jones, formerly of HAEX, but now publishing stuff as Mortal Realm. How's it going? It's good to talk to you.
It's going very well. Going very well, actually. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm hanging in there day to day, but I'm pretty well. First thing, I ran into you at Mechanismus, and you were not playing it, but just in attendance. And it was good to see you. I was like, a person I recognize confidently enough to be like, oh, fucking, hey, hello. It was good to see you. It was good that you managed to get out and catch, I don't remember what day that was. Maybe Saturday? Is that right?
I think that was Saturday.
Yeah. How was your experience at the festival?
It was super fun. I ran into a lot of cool people, you included. I liked all the bands, actually. I think I left a little bit early for Funkervogt, but every other band I caught and hung out with a lot of good friends there.
Yeah, seems like it. So I've been listening to Mortal Realm. It's not been out very long. I will just ask, what happened to HAEX? Why is that in seemingly no more?
Oh man, we're going there. Okay, it's been a lot of different things that kind of led to our agreement to stop it completely. Basically, probably one of the biggest reasons is me moving away from California. I live in Washington now, Washington State, which is why it was easy for me to go to Mechanismus. That general logistics, trying to figure out tours, trying to figure out when to get together to do anything. Basically, it slowed down to below a crawl. We were at a standstill. Basically, we were still able to do remixes and stuff here and there, but we just wanted to focus on our own things.
Sure. Makes sense. Collaboration takes a lot of, especially not just collaboration, but like a band together feels like a lot of such a significant portion of time to dedicate. I couldn't imagine trying to set aside a ton of time to have virtual meetings and stuff. Sure, it's doable, but maybe overall, I guess the question I want to ask is, do you feel pretty good about this decision, this choice? Is there some sadness in what it could have been, I think?
All the above. It was absolutely sad for both of us. We were having quite the time immediately after we made the decision, trying to figure out how to divvy things up and what we're going to do from now on kind of thing. But yeah, our best work was really when we were actually roommates in California at one point. And we put a lot of work into that, actual blood, sweat, and tears into the Ether Abyss Void album that came out. And we were trying to work on the new stuff again. It was slightly different, very weird sounding stuff. I wish more people could have heard what we were working on. But again, logistics, a little bit of creative differences, and just life in general kind of made it stop, unfortunately.
Understandable. This is the way of things. Everybody has a story and everything. Understandable. Mortal Realm, the Stab in the Dark album is excellent. I have listened to it cover to cover a couple of times. It's a genre-bendy industrial album, and I had such a good time listening to it. Elements of things that reminded me of Ministry and things that reminded me of Skinny Puppy in parts, or maybe some Suicide Commando-y. I felt like it was fluid, that it could do a lot of things and riff on a lot of ideas that have been staples in this genre for a while, but like blend them together, iterate them a little bit, give them a facelift. How long did it take you to make this, and what has gone into it?
Actually, Ox was probably the first thing. The very first track on the album is just an intro. That's been something that's in the back of my mind since maybe 2015 or something like that, before HAEX even. But I finally managed to get it the way that I wanted it to sound. Then Trash, I actually just started writing in the fall of last year, 2023. And then since then, things have just been spilling out of me, and it feels great to get some traction on the music again. Not to say that it wasn't easy working with anyone else, but when I'm doing stuff on myself, it's easy to just let it all come out.
Sure. Yeah, you're not stopping to check with anybody else. You're just following your own kind of creative goal. What is your creative goal with this? Like, would like to have Mortal Realm?
It kind of something what you were describing is I just wanted it to keep being fluid. I don't want to put any kind of box around it aside from that it just is related to industrial. I don't necessarily want to turn into something harder or more epic or something like that. It's going to have a bunch of weird cheeseball kind of industrial stuff. And it's also going to have some super serious, very heartfelt stuff. A lot of the stuff that I've written is actually from the heart, personal experiences, thoughts, nightmares, everything like that. And I'm probably going to keep it pretty personal unless it's obviously jab it. I'm trying to even think, do the hustle kind of thing. That's not a real thing. I just made it up. I'll probably do stuff like that eventually, but in the industrial world, that sounds like a lot of fun to not put any kind of label on it and just make it just sound uniform for an album.
Okay. All right. I think that makes sense. And I can appreciate that sort of a take on it of let it grow into whatever it's going to be. It's not very old. It's still young yet, which sort of brings me to my next question of where did you even come from before Hex, before Mortal Realm was a thing? Who is Adam Jones? Why do you do this?
That's a cell sample. Sorry. Okay. I was born and raised in California. I've only since moved there last year, or was it? Yeah, it must have been early 2023 when I first came here. And I'm enjoying it a lot. But let's see, I've only ever worked with two other bands. One was my old band Savior, which I started in like the late 90s, 97 or something like that, and then stopped around, let's see, right when I started Hex, actually. While I was ending that project, I actually met Sarah, who I worked with in Hex, in, let's see, Modern Weapons. It's Jameson Boaz's old project. He does Epsilon Zero. I'm not sure if that's familiar. Excellent musician, fantastic voice, great producer. He does stuff with Resident Evil and Capcom and stuff like that now. He's a cool guy. But I met Sarah, and then we started doing Hex in 2016, and just turned in the cards there for early this year, around July. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, what drove you to want to make music and be like doing this?
Man, if I could narrow it down to one thing, it's probably a mix between Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat. That's only a partial inspiration for the name. I've gotten a lot of questions about that. Okay, is this related to Mortal Kombat? Sure, a little bit, but it's not based on it. But the first CD that I got was the Killer Cuts album that came with Killer Instinct, the Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
And there was a song in there called Full Bore. I think it was a Full Gore's theme song, and it just had really fast arpeggios and clangs and big electronic drums and strings. And the first time I heard that, I was just blown away. I'm like, what kind of music is this? And it was, I think, 93 or 94 when that first came out, and I first heard it. And I was just like on a mission to try to see if I could find more music like that. I couldn't find a lot of music like that, so I tried to make music like that. I was using Sonic Foundry's Acid program.
That's going way back. Sonic Foundry's Acid. Ugh.
Yeah, it's wild stuff. You still hear glimpses of that in MTV and stuff. They still use those samples around it. I'm like, hey, I use that sample. I have that CD somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, along with that, I couldn't find enough music to really fill my ears, so I just started to make it.
Gotcha. Okay. And you've just been into it ever since then, I think.
Yeah. Gotcha. In fact, a lot of my inspiration for writing stuff, I know Trash came like that. Nostrum Nepenthe came like that, and Death Debt. I was just either about to go to bed or in my car, and I'm like, I wish there was a song that, and I was like, yo, that's actually a good one. And then I just recorded in my phone, just me doing a kind of a
mouth sounds. Album. Sure.
Yeah. and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on that one later. And then it eventually became Trash.
Nice.
And Death Debt and all that.
Yeah. Trash is a great song. Death Debt is as well. There's an interesting mixture in tone because everything is delivered very seriously and everything is very dark. But there, you mentioned being open to not putting labels on it and just maybe doing something fun with it in the future. I was going to comment, I don't see many promo photos that feature someone with a Morningstar.
Morningstar. Kudos to you. A lot of people just go for Mace. It's a Morningstar. You're right.
Yes, I am a nerd. I am aware. It looks very battle ready in the photo, honestly.
Thanks. You might be the first person to really ask me about that thing. Some people say, oh, it looks cool, and that's it. I made that from scratch.
Holy shit.
It's wood, metal, leather, maybe, I want to say probably 20-something hours of different paint layers. Like I use salt. Like there's a bunch of different stuff to get that metallic texture to make it look like wrought iron.
Yeah.
I'm super proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. It's fucking awesome. Like, I see why you put it in your photo. It's pretty dope. Like, when I go to put your photo on the cover for the episode, I am tempted to just crop it and put the Morning Star on there. And
you could if you want.
It is very impressive. Do you are you skilled at making stuff like that, or was this like you just what prompted you to create this thing?
Let's see, that thing in particular, I don't know. I just had the idea of, I actually thought of originally maybe just doing like a big mean sledgehammer, some really weathered, like you'd barely tell that it's wood anymore kind of thing. Similar to what we did with the scythe in HAEX. I just made that connection now that I actually have that. I love it as a farming tool, not some bludgeoning device. But I based the main pose that's not like on the album cover, but it's my main promo profile picture thing. I based that off of, I think it's a German, maybe a propaganda thing from like the 20s. I don't know what the actual formal title of the thing is, but it's just got this bruiser looking guy holding a big hammer. He's got one of those little cabbie hats on. He's all weathered and wrinkled looking and looks tough. And I'm like, yo, if that was a lot less militant and I just had a flight jacket, I bet it would look really cool. and I was looking for sledgehammers, and I was like, you know what would be even cooler is to have a final boss mace or a Morning Star or something like that. I went full black metal and I just made it.
Nice. That's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, it's awesome. It helps you stand out, honestly. Because
thank you. That's good to hear.
Yeah, a lot of people in the scene do a lot of the same things, and it's fine. There's a certain aesthetic that is predominant, and that's fine. But this was the PR photo strikes me as very like, I'm a lumberjack in the Northwest that might have to defend my territory from horsebacked raiders or whatever the case might be. But it is very impressive as a thing and very striking. I was like, there's a Morning Star here. What's going on? Awesome. Have you made a lot of stuff, or is that a thing you do just as a side project thing, like just a passion project? I'm going to make a thing.
It just comes up periodically. Sometimes I get the nerve to build something wild like that. Usually I go really heavy into Halloween stuff. Last year I was a variation of Corporal Hicks from Aliens. I did the full Alien Colonial Marine armor. I didn't get to finish the helmet in time. I was going to have the little visor, like the scouter kind of thing from Dragon Ball Z, whatever that thing going on is.
Yeah.
I did make the pulse rifle. I made it so it lights up. You could see the 99 rounds in the thing, like an LED screen.
Hell yeah.
I like doing stuff like that. I was Pyramid Head for Halloween once, and I did the full Pyramid Head. Did the huge knife thing that he drags around. I wore 7-inch platforms under a bloody skirt. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like to dress up, and I like to make big, mean, intimidating armor and weapons and stuff like that. I've always been fascinated with that.
Yeah, I am seeing that now. That's cool. That's a fucking cool thing. What do you have? Are you going to do something crazy like this coming Halloween as well?
I've had a couple different things on my mind. I'm going to try to see if I can incorporate my wife into it. We've been tossing back ideas, actually, even earlier today, but we can't decide on something just yet.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. That's cool. The costuming stuff is cool. I'm creeping on your Facebook right now as you, as I was listening to talk, because I was like, I fucking want to see it. But I don't see pictures of Colonial Marine's costume up here.
I probably only have one thing of the Colonial Marine from that, and obviously it was probably on October 31st or something.
Sure.
I'm not sure how far back. I bet it's in my profile pictures. There's me as a King Leonidas from 300. I have an actual metal shield, spears. I grew a full beard for that. I worked out for 6 months and I got a spray tan. It was a lot of fun. I was in really good shape. That was before I went vegan, so I had a little bit more weight on me too. But yeah, I got really serious for some of those Halloweens.
That's pretty intense. Pretty cool. That's pretty fucking rad. All right, cool. Aside from making good industrial music that is a fresh take on familiar sounds and making cool shit, it's the kind of thing that and I'm sure you've encountered this as well, because we're probably same-ish age, but running into things or hearing something that you're like, oh, the younger version of me would love this. This is a thing that's... And it gets me excited thinking about younger versions of myself, those same teens that would stumble over this and be blown away by it and have their mind melted. Yeah, that's a thing that I feel like is worth getting excited about when you find it. Because we have to make those things now, right? Like the things that younger versions of ourselves would have, like weird radio shows or industrial music or music made by people with Morning Stars. We have to get out there and do those things in order for the next generation to have weird, cool shit, basically. So. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so aside from doing those two things, which are both very cool, what other cool shit do you do, and or what lame shit do you do?
Oh man. Okay, so I got two cats. I got a dog. Like I said, I have my wife.
Yeah.
Wife is the top priority, obviously. I've probably just been gaming a lot lately.
Mm.
Every now and then I go to hikes. I go to the bar and clubs and stuff and hang out with other rivet heads and stuff. But what have I been playing? I've been playing Metro Exodus, Dying Light, always Skyrim,
Mhm.
lots of Quake, lots of Doom. I should just bring up my Steam and
Old
just go
school
down a
shit.
list. Yeah, sure. I think the one I'm playing right now, the Metro Exodus, is
Hmm.
2019. But yeah,
Hmm.
Skyrim's 2011. But
Hmm.
there's so many expansions and so many mods. Yeah, I think I got 2,000 hours on Skyrim.
Hmm.
So that
Damn.
shows how interested I am in that
Man,
one.
I know so many people who are just like, Skyrim, and I
I
just
ignored it for years. Those 2,000 hours are only in the last 4 years.
okay. Yeah, that's me. I bought it on sale and played it for some hours and was like, I never want to play this again. It's just not my thing. For people who
That was
can get it and fall in love with it, great. But it's just some things don't just land right.
For sure. The same thing happened to me with World of Warcraft. Like all my friends were addicted, and I played it
Yeah.
for. I was actually paid to play it at my job. They're like, "You got to test this guy's video card. Play WoW." I'm like, "Oh," and then I got addicted to this, and I didn't get addicted. I
Yeah.
was like, "All right, cool. I'm a troll, and I think I'm done. I think it works fine." I
Yeah.
wasn't interested in playing it anymore, but it was hot for decades, I think.
Yes, it still is very much. It is a game that ate too many hours of my life, probably, and I refuse to
I
give
probably
them.
dodged a bullet,
Yes, you did.
unless I just stumbled into Skyrim, and now I'm just doomed to play that for forever.
Of course, there's that too. You might just be stuck again on some other
Different bullet.
Yeah, different bullet. Okay, so Mortal Realm. Let me switch gears because we'll end up talking about non-music shit plenty. So let me get this other follow-up question on Mortal Realm. So album out now. Sounds like you're excited about it and want to do more of it. So I'm expecting more in the coming year or two. Live shows, is that going to be a thing that you try and do next?
Certainly. This time last year, I could barely speak with a normal voice, let alone raise my voice. By fall, it was like just easy enough to kind of emulate doing false chord and low screams and stuff. And everything else I just had to fix with processing and stuff. I can actually sing a lot of that stuff now, just barely the level of doing a full show comfortably and knowing that I'm not going to injure myself doing it. But you probably already knew this, but just in case listeners didn't know, I'm vaxxed and I'm double boosted for COVID, but I had it a third time in 2023 and it hit me hard. It took away my voice for days, and I was warming up to do a tour with HAEX, and we had to cancel the whole tour because our part of the tour, and because my voice is just completely shot. No chance in faking it because I couldn't even talk to the crowd. It was that bad. But I've put on a lot of work to try to get better. I've seen doctors and have been taking very good care of my voice. And I plan on doing live stuff hopefully by fall. I got one thing potentially in the works. I'm just waiting for the solid yes on that. But I'm already programming lights. I'm about halfway done with the show. Programming lights, I feel like I'm writing the album again. I put a lot of work into this thing. I got 6 different LED lights that do their own little colors and strobes and stuff. I got red strobes. It looks awesome.
Nice.
And I'm super excited to see what it looks like live and play with those. But that's been a lot of fun, a lot of tedious fun. But I'm certainly planning on doing live stuff, and I already got some new tracks in the works that I'm very also excited about. I wish I could show people, but far from done.
That's exciting, especially because I feel like bands or artists who have their own light rigs or take the time to program their shit, it makes such a huge difference. Alice is the band that immediately springs to mind. Of any time I get a chance to see them, I absolutely will go and do so, just because great musicianship and great stage lights, puts in the time and the effort to like, this is a show, this is a performance, and therefore extra spit and polish is being put into it.
For sure. That's the same group that used to do Mankind is Obsolete, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. They are the sweetest people, first of all. Second, I actually haven't seen Alice live. I've seen a lot of the pictures and stuff, but I absolutely believe you because she puts in a lot of work to her music.
Yeah, 100%. Scott and company just, yeah, fantastic every time. Fantastic performances. That's exciting. I'm glad you're looking into doing it. Hopefully I will get a chance to see you at something. Okay, Mortal Realm album, maybe some shows. Is there any plans for doing collaborations or remixes, or what's next on the sort of Mortal Realm horizon?
I would certainly love to look into that. I've gotten a couple different offers for remix stuff. I love remixing. I almost always just go for hard dancey remixes, and I love doing that. You could probably tell from the actual tracks of the album how much I miss stompy music.
Yes.
And I don't have any solid news on who I would be collaborating with, but I do have a short list of people that I want to work with on that. Not sure if they're going to be big names, but certainly people that I want to work with and that I trust and that are cool, down-to-earth people. I'm going to keep that as my main goal. That's the work with people that I love.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, that's what most people should do, is try and work with people that you want to, and avoid shitty people where possible.
Go straight to and one remixes. I'm going to get some Cam at the end. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
They got a legacy, but no, I'm not going to stir the pot on
that. Not that legacy. I like stirring pots, so I'm always happy to throw it down, but we'll keep it pretty tame this time around.
Yeah, that's another short list I got that I don't like to support.
Yes, it feels so long anymore. Like, it was a short list of people that I was like, these are people that will never have them on Void Signal, and I will avoid them actively. And sometimes, and this is just my experience in this music scene, and it's probably true of all music scenes, I don't want to pick on it too much, but just people will disappoint you. People are in this for the wrong reasons, for shitty, narcissistic, abusive, predatory reasons.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Yeah, you just refreshed my list. I was like, oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, that guy. Oh man.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. It sucks. I wish people would, I don't know. It's cool to misbehave, but not without consent and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like be a grown up about it. Be a little responsible. Some empathy, maybe.
Some ethics are.
Ethics, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing that we can do. Like
class.
Yeah, class. What a concept.
Not that I'm at all like a ritzy dude, but
sure. I wouldn't know. I don't know. I don't know you well enough. You can make a morning star.
Wearing a tuxedo right now.
That I would believe that, actually. You're handsome enough to pull it off, to be like, I'm wearing a tuxedo at 8 o'clock at night or whatever. Yeah, you've got great facial hair, and the mustache is excellent. I can appreciate a well-grown and maintained mustache.
Thanks.
So yeah, hats off.
I can't get rid of that thing.
Yeah, no, you can't. It is. I'm pretty sure it's illegal, at least in Washington.
That's how I got one of the prerequisites to moving here.
Yeah. Do you have a good mustache? Oh, okay. Yeah. You can't be John Waters and try and move to Washington. They'll be like,
probably not.
No, they'll be like, get out of here. No. Okay. So aside from the music, what are you hoping to do with your career? What do you want to do as an Adam Jones? To keep making music, and what else?
Man, mostly that. I love my digital art. I like to do little artsy projects here and there. I feel like as a person, I work best with putting my heart and soul into my hobbies and then making money off of stuff that I'm just good at and don't really care if people are telling me to do it. For instance, I tried to do graphic design stuff professionally, and I was just losing my mind when people were saying, okay, instead of a 60s theme, we want like a backyard pool party theme. I'm like, okay, cool, but I just finished the 60s theme. Did you not like it? And they're like, no, we loved it. It's just that we should just completely switch gears, and now it's space theme. I'm like, okay. I was doing graphic design for a photo booth company, and I was doing iPhone covers, lots of weird one-off stuff like that, and I just can't take people switching gears on me after I put in hours and hours of work into stuff. So I like to do that to myself and say, Matt, it should be in B instead of D, and now it sounds better, and I'll gladly put in my own work because it's me running the show. Maybe I'm just a control freak with my art. I don't think that had anything to do with a band breakup, by the way. It really didn't. No, that wasn't even in the conversation. But with my own stuff, I treat my art like my baby, and I just want to make sure it's the way that I want it. So doing stuff strictly for other people without a lot of my own input, I just don't like it. So I like to just do my own hobbies.
Gotcha. Fair enough. I can admire that. I appreciate that. Okay, I will put this question to you. It is the last question of the show. But I'm putting it to you early because it sounds like a thing that we can discuss. What is something that you have been enjoying recently? And your answer can be anything: book, video game, movie, whatever. Just what's something that you're jazzed about? You mentioned Skyrim, which is Snooze City, but you also said Doom. That new Doom, Dark Ages or whatever, looks pretty sweet.
I am very excited about that. I
Mm-hmm.
saw the gun that crushes up skulls and shoots the little fragments and shreds people. That looks super fun. I'm
Mm-hmm.
nerding out in my head about that. I'm really sad that probably I don't think Mick Gordon is going to be doing the music for that. That's a big
Yeah.
letdown. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to work with Bethesda ever again from the way that they treated him.
Yeah.
I've talked to that guy. He's ultra sweet.
Mm-hmm.
He gave Sarah and I a couple tips on production for the initial Hex album.
Mm-hmm.
You can probably hear some of the stuff, especially in the low bass and some of the way we did guitars.
Mm-hmm.
He's just an absolute genius about that. However, honestly, the Eternal stuff was still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that he didn't do was good enough to be in a video game. It doesn't have to be a platinum record every time. But I even liked what I heard in the trailer for the Dark Ages one.
Yeah. And agree. I liked Doom Eternal a lot, gameplay wise. The story was what the fuck ever. I don't give a shit.
Same.
I'm not playing Doom for the story.
Too neon. Give me some corridors. Give me some dripping bloody
Yeah.
feeling. Give me
Yeah.
some little jump scares. I really like the old Doom. The 2016 Doom
Yes.
is part of my soul. I just
Mhm.
love that aesthetic so much, and I feel like they went
Yeah.
totally Barbie with Eternal. It was super fun, equally as violent. I like that really fast pace, explosion action kind of stuff, but they really twisted the colors up to the pink, and
Yeah.
and I was like, I get this, but it feels like it's Mass Effect or something like that. It's pretty to look at, but it's not Doom.
Yes. That was my thought exactly. 2016 was such
Yeah.
a fantastic reimagination of my childhood of like
Yeah.
sitting down in front of the old Doom.
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah, totally. I watched gameplay of the first 5 minutes and I was like, I have to have this immediately.
Yeah, I saw the imps with the chainsaw in the video, and my jaw just dropped. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you could saw someone in half. I was so happy.
I was like, oh fuck, this looks great. And it is. But yeah, the Doom Eternal's like color palette and sort of story was whatever, but man, the gameplay was great. Like the grappling all over the place. At first I hated it for an hour until I stopped being a fucking baby, and then I was like, I get this. And it became so fun. And to the point that going back and trying to play Doom 2016 feels slow.
You couldn't dash.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. I miss moving really fast, really quick for just a moment. That was really fun. I wonder if you could mod that or something to incorporate that. I feel like it would be too easy at that point. But
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the color scheme for Dark Ages looks real good. It looks all gritty and gray and stuff. I'm excited about that. I hope they go back to those roots. Even if it's not corridors, it looks like a lot of wide open spaces. But it does look dark and gritty like the first 2016 version.
Yes, I'm pretty fucking excited about that. I don't often get excited about video games much anymore. It has to be something a little bit special. The other one I will say that is like major on my radar, and I never pre-order games because I've been disappointed too many fucking times because they're usually bad. But Space Marine 2 looks really fucking great.
I've only heard glimpses of that. I actually haven't done I haven't seen any trailers or anything like that. I should check that out.
Yeah, you should. And if you get the chance, the first one goes on sale often for $5-ish, $20, something like that. It's easily worth that. It's got great voice acting in it with Mark Strong is the main character. And there's really great voice acting in it and a good story and is pretty fun to play through. And then this one is different voice cast and everything, but also just looks fantastic. Looks like a 40K game that 40K nerds have been waiting for. And crazy violent. And that's the theme of like video games I like. Because the other game I grew up on a lot was like Diablo. And a lot of can get down on some Diablo, splitting demons in half and shit. Love that shit. But
good times.
Yeah, good times. So aside from what else have you been playing? Anything else that's been like grabbing your attention?
You know what? Let me just check. I'm actually gonna really quickly pull up Steam because there it is. Okay. My library. Oh, the Borderlands 2 and 3 I was super into for a long time. A lot of replays for those. Cyberpunk. into that. Fallout 4, I was playing that
Cyberpunk
for a
was so
long time.
boring, man. I don't know. I tried to play it, but I got to the mission where it was like, go wait outside this club, and I've never picked it up since then. I don't know.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get used to the style of gameplay, but I just treat it as an open world after a while. But once you got like some cool guns, basically, they really could have expanded off of that and have it more modular. I like the Doom and I like the Fallout, like the upgrades to different things. I don't like to get super intricate with it, but there was almost no options in Cyberpunk outside of upgrading your body.
Yeah.
And that was only fun for a couple different upgrades. The rest of it just made the game easier, and it was already, I feel like, a little bit of a breeze to go through.
Yeah, that's fair. I
like driving in the rain. That was cool.
Yeah, it was very pretty to look at. But I don't know. I have such a hard time with games that don't. If something becomes too open worldy, I feel paralyzed by choice sometimes, and I need a little bit of some breadcrumbs to like take me somewhere. The thing.
I get you there, because I guess another gripe I would have had with Cyberpunk 2077 is it's open world enough where it feels like it's open world, but the game still holds your hand through it, and you have to watch so many cinematic things. And I'm maybe an oddball here that I don't like a lot of cinematic cuts. I like to do the thing that the game is asking me to do and not watch my character do it. I've had gripes at the end of a game, like your character offs the big boss in some weird elaborate way, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was doing that.
Yeah.
And Cyberpunk, you can't really do too much outside of the story, and there's only a couple different variations of the radial quests, and radial quest, and they get boring after a while.
Yeah, for sure. What else have I been playing? Warhammer 40k Speed Freaks is free to play on Steam. It's no surprise there. I already mentioned 40k, but it is a free to play vehicle combat shooter. It's like Twisted Metal, except a bunch of orcs and different cars and tanks and bullshit, and that you shoot and kill other people, and it's low stakes fun and it's free to play. You can install it and play it for some hours and then put it down, and that's it. It's very much a video game in the sense of being a toy. I think sometimes people, myself included, in the past have forgotten to remind myself that like a video game is a toy. And your toy is a source of getting your frustration out, not a source of frustration.
Yeah, disassociation in the nicest way. I'm looking at the trailer and it looks awesome for free. It looks like a great toy.
Yeah.
I'm actually super new to Warhammer. I respect it. I'll tell you that. But I don't know almost anything about it. Should I start with this?
You can jump in with this. This has no story. This is just shooting other people and blowing stuff up. You don't need to know anything to jump in. But if you like science fiction stories, I feel like 40K is a thing you will run into sooner or later. And you don't need to play the tabletop. You don't have to buy any of the bajillion books. There's a million of them. I would almost encourage people fucking not to, because it's like I got into 40K and you should start with this book series that covers this one event. There's 67 books that cover this shit. Fucking get out of here. Like and some of them are excellent. Like Dan Abnett in particular is a fantastic, above the crowd author, like really fucking good, next level. You're signing on to read. You can overdose on this shit like as much as you want, but it's a thing you'll run into in sooner or later, and it comes in so many flavors that sort of anyone can find something in it they like. And here's this hyper realized depiction of a fascist Earth, and here's aliens and Tyranids and dark elves and all this kind of weird shit. And there's something in it for everybody. So sooner or later you'll run into something that's, this is too cool to be denied. And I just love how with 40K and with Warhammer in general, everything is just so over the top. Just dialed up to 11, like the skulls have spikes.
For the Skull Throne.
Yeah, just as many.
I know, that's awesome.
Yes, exactly. It's just like, have as many skulls as you can have. Like I love that, like over the top, like as much as you can do, aesthetic and vibe for it. But yeah, and it comes in so many flavors. Space Marine is a great place to start too. You will have a good time with it if you like video games and sci-fi stories. So,
cool.
Yeah, good shit.
Actually, the music sounds good in the trailer too.
Yeah, that's another thing, is that a lot of Warhammer 40K games have just phenomenal soundtracks. The soundtrack for Mechanicus which is like a turn-based Warhammer 40K game. Great industrial soundtracks and shit. Jesper Kid, who did the Assassin's Creed soundtrack, he did the soundtrack for Warhammer Vermintide and Darktide. Both are looter shooter games in the style of Left 4 Dead, Warhammer flavors. And his soundtrack work on those is amazing, especially as somebody who mentioned Mick Gordon.
He did Left 4 Dead? He was the composer?
Not for Left 4 Dead, but for these Warhammer flavored Left 4 Dead-esque games. Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff, especially the Darktide soundtrack because it's 40K, so it's all sci-fi, and he did some great industrial tracks that like you could just slot him onto a DJ set into a dance floor. People will dance to it probably, like just really good shit.
Right. Ooh, Darktide looks good.
Oh, Darktide's a blast. Yeah, especially if you like shooters and stuff.
Yeah, I'm big into FPS with mean weapons and melee stuff. It's so fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check into this. I'm
Yeah.
going to become addicted to Warhammer. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can.
Thanks a lot.
You are so welcome. 40K is great. You can get almost anybody into 40K because it just has such a broad appeal across so many sectors or so many sectors and things. Okay. Anything else that springs to mind that you've been enjoying recently that you've just been like about? Maybe not a video game, but just what's an Adam Jones thing that you've just been like, oh, fuck, I can't wait to do this.
Honestly, almost all my free time that isn't little random gaming things and hanging out with my wife and watching TV and cooking dinner is just working on these lights for the live show. It's been a lot of work. Like I said, it does feel like I'm doing the album all over again because things are never the same for 2 seconds at a time. Epilepsy warning kind of stuff. It's going to be fun. So I'm really excited to play live.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm excited to see it. Keep me posted on that. I'm just south of you in California, so and I've got plenty of friends up your way.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. And by all means, let me know when you start thinking about going on tour and setting up dates and stuff. I know the promoters here in Sacramento and maybe one in the Bay Area or two. But yeah, let me know. I'll put your name in their ear or get you in touch or whatever.
I used to live in Sacramento for 10 years.
Oh, shit, really? Okay.
I wonder if I know the promoters. But honestly, you're probably better friends with them now because it's been a long time since I've even visited.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Megan LaChapelle has this.
Yeah, lovely.
Yes.
I don't talk a lot, but I love Keys.
Yes,
great.
She is. Keys is great and does a lot of nights, goth nights and stuff in the area and stuff. But yeah, for sure. Okay, easy. Done. You're welcome.
All right, yeah. I'm sure we'd love to work together again.
Yeah.
She's DJ'd at my other club before. I used to do trauma and circuitry, if you remember that stuff. But she was DJing there every now and then with DJ David V. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. And that is still DJs here as well. But yeah, cool. Awesome. Small world, small community, I guess I should say, as everybody knows everybody in the sense of, and it was interesting too, because like I saw you at Mechanismus. I'm like, I knew immediately who you were. And I was like, it was interesting because it was like, whenever I see somebody in real life that I've only seen them on like Facebook or in like promo photos, there's always that moment of, do I actually know this person? Is that really them? And I always
we're friends on Facebook, but are we friends?
Yeah. Are we friends in the real world? Yeah. But yeah, it was good to see you though, and to recognize you and say hello and shit. And it was an unexpected benefit of being at Mechanismus. I didn't expect to run into you at all, actually.
Sure. Honestly, I'll go on a limb here. If you're ever around here, let's hang out or something like that. Normally a very homebody, but you're super easy to talk to. And if you're up in the area or if I'm down there, let's kick it or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let me know if you make it down Sacramento way, for sure. And I know a bunch of people up there now from doing Mechanismus stuff, and that I've been intending to make a trip up there at some point, but it'll have to wait a little bit. So yeah, just to answer the question myself, the thing I've been enjoying recently, I'm getting ready for Wasteland Weekend. I managed to get myself a deeply discounted ticket, and I'm going to be going at the end of September. I've been watching. It's a thing I've been aware of for like years, and I was always like, I'd love to go do that, but just never pulled the trigger on. And now it's like, I've had enough near-death experiences now that it's like, you should do the thing while you can do the thing.
Honestly, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm like going so hard into making sure that this live thing is good, because I'm 40 now. I don't know if you're 40, but
Yep.
I want to do this while I'm still able to do it.
Yeah.
Like I want to be energetic on stage without being the old man on stage doing it. I want to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
I got some vim behind me on that.
Yeah, good for you. And yeah, absolutely the same. I am 41, and you only have to have a couple of gentle medical reminders of bullshit that can happen to you for you to have that realization of, I got to get it while I can get it.
Yeah, people are frail.
Yeah. So yeah, go to festivals in the desert, go camping for the first time, and go, spend hours and a bunch of money on lighting rigs and stuff. And
yeah.
Not going to see the Morning Star live, I assume?
I don't know. I have no way to incorporate that because I'm going to be playing keys and stuff. So far, it's only me on stage. I'll probably be open to having more people if I trust them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might bring it on for a hello goodbye prop or something like that, but I might not. It's a lot to carry.
Yeah, and then
it's hard to put anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. And then you're like lugging it around on the road and everything. What if you, for an encore, you came out with it and you smashed a watermelon on the stage?
Gallagher. Or I could just do photo ops afterwards.
Yeah, there you go. Be like, hey, do you want to get a photo with me and the Morning Star? Yeah. See? Yeah. See, lots of options there for it. But if you do end up smashing any fruit with it, that's just keep that in your back pocket as even if the music doesn't work out, you could probably get people to come watch you beat fruit with a Morning Star.
It would hold up too. I made sure that it won't fall apart.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it broke, you would only be able to blame yourself. So
that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, there are options for you. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on and having a chat and hanging out. I appreciate your time very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I wish you the best. The album is awesome and blistering, and I had such a good time listening to it. I'm hopeful for what you make in the future as well, and look forward to hearing more from you. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. More to come.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to dip and go smoke and play video games and turn my brain off for a while. And yeah, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You deserve it. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. Cheers.
Void Signal intro and outro courtesy of Processor. Visit processor2.bandcamp.com for more Processor, and visit voidsignal.net to help support the creation of more Void Signal. Stay safe, stay loud.